Geeks, the market is saturated with these right now, and I am obsessed with them. But it really takes something different to catch my eye, and I can promise you I own probably every single one that's been made thus far on the market. And this one made life easy. This is the Hinge Shad from Yamamoto Baits. It's a jerkbait, it's a minnow bait, but it is really, truly, and leave it to Yamamoto to design something different. Now they come in 4 different sizes, and this is the big boy right here. So if you're around some bigger shad, some gizzard shad, this is the one you want to use. This version, incredible as a soft jerkbait. So I picked up a few different colors in all 4 sizes. This is the 7-inch, and you can see how big, how girthy, take a drink, geeks, this thing is. So let's talk about, before we talk about the colors or the other sizes, some things that really make this a unique bait. Number 1, the part that it's named after, the hinge. The hinge gives it a very unique movement, which helps with, if you want to put it on a jig head and use it as a minnow, with a great rolling action. It also has 2 wings down the body. Those wings help this bait to roll. Incredible. I love, because you don't see this very often with the tails coming out this way. I love this, and you'll notice the different lengths in the tail. Also helps that hinge to move and for the bait to roll. Now something else that I like is that they weight the top and the belly differently, which again helps the bait to have an incredible roll action. Now, you rig this on a basic standard hook or a belly weight also, and it's got some incredible action that will just dart through the water. So that's what makes this bait really unique. And Yamamoto's done a great job in designing it. So whether it be a soft plastic jerkbait or a minnow bait, man, this thing gets the job done. And that color is called natural shad. Now that we've covered what makes this different, let me show you some of the sizes and the colors that I picked up. And this is the 6-inch version. This is green gizzard shad. 2 other colors I picked up. Now these are in the 5-inch, and I'm not going to show you the same colors in all the different sizes. But this is electric shad, and this is one of my favorites. This is called rainbow shad. And now we get down to the 3.5-inch, and this is Pro Blue. All right, geeks, we always talk about protecting your gear, and we want to talk about protecting your gear. Tournament season has kicked off, and if you all don't know, most of you do, you have to have a certain level of coverage per the affiliation, group, whatever, whether it be Bass, MLF, whatever, whether it's a club, whether it's the BFLs, whether it's the Opens. Make sure that your insurance is right. And there's one company, if you're filming YouTube videos, you're doing promotions, hey, if you're just fishing a tournament and you're talking about a bait that you're a pro staff for, if you don't have the right coverage, it could cost you everything. So make sure you go check out BIA. All they do is Boaters Insurance. Boat Insurance Agency, that's all they do, and they work with some of the best and biggest pros out there. Make sure you tell them BassGeek sent you. Now you could use any standard, and this is one of my favorites, made in America, the Pulse Jig ball head. And you could use this, it's just fine. But with a bait that rolls, I like to help it out a little bit more. One of my favorites to use is, of course, the Rolling Strolling Head by Queen's Tackle. This thing, the way it's designed with the double weighted areas here and here, it rolls on about anything. So it's pretty easy rolling action. But this 3.5 inch, we're going to be rigging it up on this. So the first thing is we're going to measure it out to the side like we always do. Then we're going to come through the head and we'll come out the back of the body. Then we'll go ahead and pull it up tight to the jig head. The knot we're going to be using today to get a little more roll action out of the rolling strolling head is going to be a loop knot, a non-slip loop knot. And that's easy enough to tie. All you do is make an overhand loop, and you want it to get down dime size, a little bit smaller for this particular head. And then you're going to pass it through the eyelet of the hook. You're going to go ahead and wrap it about 5 times, and you're going to go through both loops near the eyelet of the hook. And then you're going to hold that to the head, and you're going to cinch it down. There you have your loop knot. This is one of my favorite wallet-friendly series of rods. It is not built wallet-friendly, so the word cheap does not apply. But this is a $100 rod, by the way, with the 10% discount to Douglas Rods. It's cheaper than that, or at least you'll get free shipping. This is the Douglas ERA, or ERA. And they come in a whole series. They're incredible looking rods. Love, love, love the cork that they put on these rods. This is the drop shot rod. It is a 610 extra medium, extra fast. So it's got a nice little tip to it. Don't be fooled, it's not stiff, especially for doing what we're doing right here. Now I've got this coupled with a Kuma ITX. I've had this reel forever. So I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I'll put a comparable reel down there in the description. It's a great combo. This is a great rod. And on top of that, we are going to put 10-pound test, or you should try the new 14-pound from the silk braid from K9, smoothest casting braid I've ever used. And we're going to put 8-pound test Pro 100, which is their 100% fluorocarbon. And again, I've got a 10% off discount for that too. So again, there's 2 ways you're going to fish this. Now, early March, I'm going to fish it like a jig head minnow. So the 3.5 inch is going to be the way I go. We got a bunch of shad out here up and down the gut of this creek. We got a bunch of bass out there feeding on them. It is that time of year. Now, as we get later into March, you may be able to get out and use it as a soft jerk bait. I kind of like that a little more in April. We will show you what that looks like. But a great way to use this is get out here, find those bass that are feeding on those shad, and throw at them using your forward-facing sonar. Now, again, a jig head minnow has been around for a lot of years before forward-facing sonar. And one of my favorite ways to use it without it is tight lining it or vertical fishing it. So if we have a bank like we've got here, a point like we've got here behind us, something that you can do is make a shallow cast, lift up on the rod tip, and start slowly shaking, not moving it with your reel, moving it with your rod tip, slowly shaking it down that bank. One of the best ways you can catch some bass without forward-facing sonar. Now, you got 2D sonar. Get out there on the deeper points, maybe on the main lake, maybe right here on the first thirds of the creeks, and look for those points and those bass out there on them. Just get over top of them, drop it straight down on them, and start shaking it in place. They start to come up for the bait, you move up with it. It is really that simple. Now, like I said, it's got a great action. The 5, 6, and 7 as a soft jerk bait, but like I said, in March, Primarily going to be doing this, even with some of the 5, 6, 7s if you got some bigger bait fish in there. Now, anytime you hook set with this, I'm going to hook set straight up, and then I'm just going to get it to the boat, grab that bass either on my thumb, or if it's a nice big fat toad, we're going to get that sucker in the net. That's really the best way to fish this in March because they're in a feeding mood. Don't be afraid to throw those big uns. Those big bass will respond. Don't be afraid to throw those big uns on a jig head minnow, doing exactly what I was talking about, and that is tight lining it down the bank, especially around some cover. You will not believe this time of year how many big bass will come up out of a tree and swallow that thing. All right, if you want to see an incredible video that we did on the new Bill Lewis Hard Knock lipless crankbait, man, you need to go right here and check that out. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell, be part of the 100% Watch Squad, and you geeks